find the remedy, or would you stay with me now till the...
Hello you gorgeous lot, thank you for clicking on this video. Today I'm going to be doing a summer bridal makeup. Let's be honest, everyone knows summertime is the prime time for weddings. Hopefully you'll be able to take some inspiration from this, you know, whether you're doing your own makeup or you've got a makeup artist who's coming to do your makeup. And if you are getting married, then congratulations. I hope your day goes amazingly well and I hope you get gorgeous, gorgeous weather. I have already washed my face. Before you do anyone's makeup, including your own, you want to make sure the skin is clean. I have washed my face, but for the purpose of the video, I'm just going to go around with a little bit of micellar water on my reusable cotton pad. This is a really good step, really important step actually, just to make sure there is no residue, nothing sitting on the skin, so you can go in with that clean base. I have just washed my skin, but look, can you see? There's still a little bit of dirt on there. Next step is moisturizer. Do not use a new moisturizer. Do not use new skincare on your wedding day. Just don't run any risks like that. Now, what I am gonna do is I'm gonna wake those muscles up on my face and do a little bit of lymphatic drainage, okay? So I'm just going up the forehead like this. See that? Other side. Then we're just gonna do a little bit of this motion around that nose and then up those cheekbones. Using the sides, we're just gonna pull that up. You can, of course, use one of these if you want to, but not everyone has those, so I'm gonna show you what I do. Run these two like this, just along the jaw, and then push down. Just like that. You are gonna look maybe a little bit flustered in the face, but who cares? Because your face will look a little bit more snatched and lifted, and that is sinking into the skin. Then 3 more products. We're gonna use a lip balm. So by the time when you come around to doing your lips, that would have sunken in and your lips will be nice and soft. If you do get any breakouts the night before your wedding, I thought I'd mention this because you never know, like, you can't control everything, you know? You can control most things on your day, but maybe not your skin. So I use these spot stickers, by the way. I've actually nearly gone through a whole pack. Can you see? Like, this was all full and now I've got 5. The reason I like to use these when I've got a special occasion, let me put it here so you can see, is because it flattens the spot. So it might not necessarily completely get rid of it, but it flattens it. And if I've got a bit of discoloration, I can deal with that, you know? I can cover that with good old makeup. But if I've got a bump, that's a little bit harder for me to conceal. Now I'm gonna go in with some eye cream. Mine is kind of like exploding a bit. And this has a slight tint to it. Can you see there? It also has vitamin C in it. That is by the brand Pixi. I actually did a makeup counter video where I went and had my makeup done with them. And then I go on top of the eyelids. And then I'm gonna pat in as well, so we're going around that orbital bone mainly. Next product is going to be a brow primer. This is one from Benefit, and I'm just going to run that through the hairs back and forth. Oh my god, right? 2 days ago now, I was doing my makeup and I got my little derma planning thing, so I was giving myself, you know, nice little derma planning session. Going around there, always do this, and then boop, took off the end of my eyebrow. Yeah. So if I didn't have eyebrows tattooed right now, right here, there'll be like hardly any hair. Yay me. We've done all the good stuff. Obviously I've sped it up a little bit. You take your time. It's your wedding day, honey. You take all the bloody time you need. But me, I'm on a little bit of a time limit, okay? I don't want to be here for like 4 hours talking to you about the whole situation. So prepping, done. Primers. Now this really does depend on what you need your primer to do. The same for your foundation. What sort of makeup style do you like? Do something similar to what you normally do, but of course, you know, make it a little bit more glam. It's your special day. With the primer, sorry, I got something in my eye. With the primer, you want something that's going to work for your skin. Do you have fine lines? Is your skin dehydrated? What your skin needs will determine the primer you use. So I'm going to use 2 right now because my skin's quite dry. I'm going to use the Photo Finish, which is the Smooth and Blur one, and then I'm going to use a primerizer. Both of these are by Smashbox. For the primerizer, it's kind of like a primer and lotion in one. Just looks like this. I'm gonna put that into the hands, and this is gonna go on that forehead, around the face, on the chin, and then on the nose, okay? So pretty much everywhere except for not on the eye area because I don't really need it. Smoothing one, I do not need a lot of, and I'm gonna warm that up in my fingers. Just gonna do a little pat on the under eye, bring it down into those laugh lines. There we go, and a little bit on that chin because I've got a bit of discoloration, a little bit of texture. Personally, if I was doing a summer bride or I was getting married in the summer myself, I would want to do thin layers, okay? I don't want anything too thick, too cakey. Sweating for one, you know, you don't want anything that's going to move very easily. My two options right now for my summer brides or people attending a wedding would be the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Foundation. I use shade 7 for reference, or the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation. I use, I'm not going to try and pronounce that name. I'll link it in the down bar. But I'm going to use this one because it has a gorgeous thin consistency. So I'm going to give it a bit of a shake. I'm going to take 2 pumps onto the back of my hand. I'm going to use this little brush here. On one end, it has a flat traditional foundation brush. And then on this end, we've got a little buffing brush. This is a super small one by MAC. Really love this brush. Reach for it quite a lot. Now I'm going to work my way from the center of the face outwards. Normally the center is where you need the most coverage anyway. I'm not going to be applying too much to the under eye area, just because we will be putting on some concealer there. This foundation is super nice and lightweight. Still allows the natural skin to come through, which I like. If you have freckles or anything like that, they will show through and it just won't look cakey and heavy. If your ears are gonna be out, make sure you put some foundation on your ears, especially if you're having your hair up. This is the sort of coverage that the NARS Light Reflecting Foundation gives you. If you want a little bit more coverage, then opt for the Charlotte Tilbury one. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand. I'm just gonna do a dab here. We're just gonna go around the side of the face like this, and then I will do a little bit as if it's going up to the ear here. You know, who doesn't want a snatched jaw on the wedding? You want all the angles to be looking good. A clean duo fiber brush. Please make sure if you're doing your own makeup that you have all clean brushes on the day. Do not forget to do that. Clean brushes make such a difference. As you can go around the hairline there. So I'm gonna go down and we're gonna do a little bit of a triangle. So from here to there, you see, so along, down, down. This just really makes that bit look a little more hollow and snatched. So I'm gonna go up and then down and create a little bit of a triangle. So you see in this section here, and blend that right up behind the ear as well. Got to think of all these little bits on your wedding day. You don't want anything to be caught off. For concealer, I am going to use one of my Ride or Die concealers. This is the Multi-Sculpting Concealer from Too Faced. Genuinely, up until this point in my life, I haven't found a concealer that beats this. I found ones that come close, like Tarte Shape Tape and stuff like that, but there's not a concealer that I can actually say beats this. And if I have a special occasion, an event, anything going on, this is the concealer I will always opt for. So I do really highly recommend it for your wedding day. So as you can see, I'm just going to go under here, just on the inner part there, a little bit into that center of the forehead, around the nose, and then on the chin. As you can see from the Charlotte Tilbury contour wand, it just has a nice sheen. It still looks nice and healthy. We're not caking on the product. And then once this is blended out, it's going to work so nicely. When it comes to blending out the concealer on the face, I'm going to start with the less important areas, anywhere but the eyes basically, and we're going to blend that out. As you can see, I haven't done any of the eyeshadow just yet. We will be doing that, but when you're doing such nice light colors and stuff like that, I feel like it's okay to do the eyes last, whereas if you are doing, you know, heavier makeup, then do your eyes first, of course. Just going to bring that down and then let it sit there, and we're going to do the nose. We're just going to blend that out into the laugh lines. For me, when I'm doing summer makeup, I feel like less is more. Genuinely, I would love to have a beauty sponge at this point just to go over everything and it picks up any excess product. But I'm gonna be honest with you, your girl hasn't got one right now. Genuinely. I had one the other day and I do not know where the hell it's gone. It's like my home has just eaten it. Like, I have no idea where it's gone, and I bet you any money I'm gonna find it in the most random place. And then do not forget this inner part here. A beautiful, beautiful product that I really recommend if you're doing your own makeup or you're doing any summer brides are the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wands. These are a must-have, even if you're not doing bridal makeup. They are just so gorgeous and radiant. So you can see I have a little bit more of a pinky one and then a champagne one, but I'm going to go for the pinky one today. We're going to use this as our highlighting blusher. The only thing is, make sure you have like a wipe to hand because they can get a little bit messy. So I'm just going to go and pop that on the tops of the cheekbones just like this. Genuinely, it's going to give you the most gorgeous sheen. And I'm just lightly going to run that around, a little bit of buffing, a little bit of patting, and then bringing that up into the temples as well, and then bring that onto the apples of the cheeks. You can do this before your concealer if you want to, totally up to you. So I've just added a tiny bit of concealer just because I still want to keep this area really nice and bright. Setting powders are so important, guys. Like, you don't want one that looks cakey, you don't want one that's going to cause flashback, you just want it to just sit on the skin so nicely, but you want it to do its job. You want it to hold that makeup in place for as long as possible. And one setting powder that I actually find is so lightweight but looks gorgeous on the skin and you can touch it up throughout the day is this Fenty Universal one. I was so flipping impressed with this setting powder. Let me zoom you in so you can see what I mean so we can do a little comparison. This is the skin right now, right? Super fresh, radiant, gorgeous, glossy, summer, fresh skin, which we love. Now I'm going to take a clean, fresh brush, because I love to say the word fresh clearly. This is the Bare Minerals Dual Finish Blush and Contour. I'm going to grab my little bit like that and go in. Now, because I have literally just done my concealer, I shouldn't need to smooth any lines. However, if you've let your concealer sit there for a while, go in and blend it out before you go in and set it in place, right? Let me just do the under eye so you can see how well it takes away shine. Under eyes are done. Now look at that chin. Just looks really soft and undetectable. Okay, so I'm gonna put some through the top of the eyebrows because I don't want them to be shiny, and in the center of the brows, and then of course just a light dusting on the forehead. We've used dewy, radiant skin products for a reason, but we need it to be matte in certain areas, you know? We don't want to look shiny and dewy everywhere, so I'm gonna go in those laugh lines, and then if you have deep laugh lines, do this, stretch out the skin, and do that. If you feel like, no, I need a little bit more coverage, that's absolutely fine. Go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish Powder, but then right before you finish the client or you're doing your face, go in with this and just dab it as and when needed for a light touch up. If you want to use your normal setting powder and then just use this as a light dusting at the end for finishing touches, do that because you will not regret it. One thing I am going to do now that I've got this powder in my hand though is just go along and blend it up into the laugh lines. And then anywhere that might have a bit discoloration, I'm just going to dab whatever's left onto that chin because I do get a few hormonal breakouts around there. Before I go back to the skin and do like little final touches, blusher, that kind of thing, I am going to move on to the eyes right now. Any eye primer of your choice. So I'm going to grab a fluffy brush. As you can see, I took such a small amount now. And then we're just going to run that on both eyes. And then this fluffy brush will really help soften it. So I think in 2019, I think it was, I done the Ultimate Bride guest makeup and I did a lot of tips and tricks in that, and genuinely even up to this point I still feel like that's a timeless makeup look, and it's definitely worth watching if you haven't because the tips and tricks still stand the same. And with any sort of bridal makeup, I would recommend to go for things that are a little bit more timeless, a little bit more soft, you know. First step is I'm going to take the bronzer that I'll later be using on my face, and we're just going to run that on the outer part of the eyebrow, and I'm going to bring that up. I haven't done my eyebrows yet just because I know I was going to get product in them regardless. I'm going to face my brush down and press it into the socket on the outer corner. I'm using a really soft bronzer because if you do get any sort of slight wrinkles there, which is completely normal, it doesn't matter your age, that is completely normal, this will just really help to soften those and bring all the tones together as well. Then bring that up. It's not natural to have completely smooth eyes up until your eyeballs anyway. Oh, someone's texted me. Who is that? I should really put my phone on airplane mode when I'm filming, just forget. Then I'm gonna grab a palette. This is the BPerfect palette. This is the Vivienne collaboration. Love BPerfect Cosmetics. Their eyeshadows are absolutely insane. They're like my go-to eyeshadows. Right here, we have this kind of like really gorgeous peachy, pinky nude. On the same brush, we don't need to grab a new brush. Gonna be putting that on the outer corner and blending that in and blending that up. Clean blending brush now. We need to soften everything. Then I need a slightly more darker pink, so I'm gonna go for this Charlotte Tilbury palette. This is the Pillow Talk Dreams Luxury Eye Palette. That color there, that is just so perfect. That perfect nudie pink. And then we're just gonna pop that on the outer corner and then face the brush downwards from the outer corner and then just into the socket, just like that. Do little flicking motions, just flicking that out. Just on the outer corner, do not bring that in. We're keeping that mainly on this part, and then we're going to run it on the outer corner of the under eye. So I'm grabbing a super small, flat, thin eyeshadow brush. I'm going to grab a little bit of MAC Fix Plus. Don't do it too close because I don't want the brush saturated. Nice little mist in the air. Shake the brush around. And you see that Charlotte Tilbury palette that we just used? It has a gorgeous colour here. Ooh, that looks amazing. That is gonna go on top of the eye. And you might need to go back in, you know, to dampen the brush again, bit by bit. Look at that, it's so stunning and soft. Oh my god, no, I love it. Starting from the middle. Then this lighter colour on a more smaller pointy brush. That's going to go on the inner tear duct and then blend it up. So we're going to put on some eyelashes. I do say to a lot of brides, on your wedding day, just get lash extensions because you don't know how emotional you're going to be. And you don't want to be crying your eyes out and have all this smeared mascara and eyelash pinging off or anything like this, because we all know what lashes can be like. However, if you do wear false eyelashes, go for some that you've worn before and you know that really suit your eye. So this is Kiss Lash Couture Luxe Extensions collection. These are the Royal Silk, and I'm going to pop those on right now. This is what the lashes look like. I'm going to let them dry down a little bit more before I go and put a little bit of mascara in. Bronzer is going to be the Charlotte Tilbury one. This is just massive, and I just feel like I'm never ever making my way down. Like, look, I've hit pan, but still there's so much. I'm not complaining. And take a really small brush like this, which just has a lot of movement. Tap that off, and then I'm just gonna circular motion just to set that in place, of course, onto the neck as well. Running that on the bottom of the nose. Now, me personally, if I'm going to be doing my wedding makeup or a client's makeup, I do like to run a little bit of, you know, contour or bronzer or something just on the nose so it doesn't get lost within the makeup. So what I do is I grab an old Benefit Hoola bronzer brush and I just go down either side. Now, this is just something that I like to do with my nose. You know, some people might not feel the need to contour their nose. I just feel like it doesn't get lost within the makeup this way. And then I just go in and soften those edges. I've used the bronzer to help make definition, and then I've also used it to set that contour liquid product in place. Two blushes now. This one has a bit of a sheen, so we're going to use this on the higher points of the cheeks, and this one, love that for me. This one is a matte one, so we're going to use that just on the apples, and this one is a tiny bit lighter, so just going to do that little bit of an ombre cheek, but they're super gorgeous, pale, summery colours. This is the shade Ecstasy, and I'm just going to do a little circular motion right up there. So in the middle, that's where it has a little bit more of that sheeny kind of product. This is also going to match those eyes perfectly. This is Bare Minerals Pretty in Pink. Doing it quite high up because you're going to be smiling. And as I mentioned before in another video, when you smile and you do it here, it's going to drop, okay? So actually go quite high as if you're going underneath that under eye. Look at that, such a difference. Then I'm going to take my trusty Dior Backstage Highlight Palette. Oh my gosh, let me tell you, I've rinsed the arse off of this. Today I'm going to go for this one here. As you can see, it's a little bit more of a champagne colour. And we're going to take it on a fluffy brush like this. Now, as I mentioned in my Ultimate Bride guest makeup, I do not like to put a highlighter everywhere when I'm doing a bride. You just want it on certain points, so when the light hits, you get that. If you go all over and all like this and all on the nose, you're going to look shiny in every single photo, and it's just not going to photograph as well. You're going to have your natural oils coming through. Placing your highlighter as and where it needs to be for photos is so much better. Okay, so I'm going to grab my mirror, I'm going to look to the side, and you see this little bit here? We're just going to pop just there, nowhere else. We've already got that sheen from the Charlotte Tilbury Highlight Beauty Wand right here. Once again, do not go too high up, because if you smile and you get any lines there, you don't want it going underneath the under eye. Keep it on these parts here. Smaller brush, I will put some on the brow bone. I love a brow bone highlight on a bride. Looks stunning in photos. Then just a tiny bit in a line right there. That is it. I just feel like on wedding days you have to be a little bit more strategic with where you place it, and don't spread it out too much. Just keep it concentrated, because I already used this underneath. The cheeks are going to look glossy and healthy. This is super fresh already. Okay, so I'm now going to fill in the eyebrows. My advice for the eyebrows would to be keep it natural. Keep them natural, because when it comes back to looking back at your photos, you don't want these really harsh eyebrows. Eyebrows are done. I run the brow gel through them, kept them quite fluffy. This is no shade to some makeup artists, but I've seen some wedding photos where people are doing the makeup and the eyebrows are just so sharp. and shape and blocky and you just don't see the hairs. If you love really harsh looking eyebrows and that is your vibe, then of course do you. But I'm just thinking of makeup that's going to age a little bit better. We've all been there. I'm a 90s baby. I add these little thin lines for eyebrows and I overpluck the hell out of them. Some of you may think these are too harsh. They don't look overpowering, and that's what I mean. You don't want your eyebrows to be like the main feature on your face. Now we're going to move on to lips, one of my favourite parts. That lip balm would have basically absorbed into your lips by this point. Now I'm going to take my little wipe that I've been using, and I'm just going to remove any product. Go with a nudie colour that's a bit of you. If you like warm nudes or you like brownie nudes or soft pinks, go with a nude that is you. You want to feel like yourself and you want to feel like the best version of yourself on your wedding day. So I'm going to go with a nude that I think would complement this overall look. This is Smashbox Medium Rose Lip Liner. I'm just going to sharpen that. Okay, maybe I sharpened her a bit too much. Right, I'm going to struggle to speak on this part, so I'm going to do a little bit of a voiceover. You guys and girls know the deal. I'm just going to fill in my lips. Then I'm going to take a Charlotte Tilbury lip and cheek tint in Santa Euphoria. So that is what the lip combo looks like. Really matches the eyes so well. But I'm just going to add a tiny bit of gloss right in the centre. Not all over the lips, just in the centre. And this one once again has that gorgeous pinky tone, which I think just looks amazing on summer brides. And then dabbing it out. I like to put a tiny bit in the centre so it's not covered in lip gloss. It doesn't look crazy. Of course, if you prefer a matte lip on your wedding day, then do obviously what suits you. But I just feel like when you see the lips in the corner of the photos, just right there, it looks glossy. It looks nice, but then the lips aren't all covered in lip gloss, so it looks like you're dribbling from the side of your photos. It just adds a nice little sheen right in the center. So don't actually go ahead and, you know, apply it on like normal lip gloss. Just do a dab, dab, and just use your finger just to dab it out. So if you do kiss your partner, you ain't gonna cover him in lip gloss. It's gonna be a little tiny bit of residue, you know, you're not smothering lip gloss all over them. This is when I go in with a setting spray. Recently, I've been using the Nimya one from Nikki Tutorials. However, that one is a little bit more radiant, a little bit more dewy, which I like on a day-to-day basis. But for your wedding day, honey, I'm gonna recommend Charlotte Tilbury. This is such a good one. If you don't have this one, then I recommend the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. That one's amazing too. I haven't done my mascara because I want to do my mascara and my final finishing touch once this has gone in place. Do a T and then an X. And again. Okay, anyway, I've got to shut up for a few seconds, which would be really hard for me. Once that's dry, this is when you're going to go with your finishing powder, your clean fluffy brush, and you're just going to look and just pop this on the places that you feel you're going to need it throughout the day. So for me, it's always around the nose, around the laugh lines. You go on top of your powder, make sure your spray is dry, because if you pat this on top, you're going to cause separation and all that hard work is going to go down the drain. Let the spray sit in place, and this is just final touches, just like that. A little bit on that chin, because she's shiny sometimes. I'm going to look down and just blend tiny amount. I'm gonna go and sort out my hair now, fixed up, and let's do a finished reveal. Let's go. Dum dum da dum. Dum dum da dum. So just quickly put on this little silky dress and put my hair like this, just to kind of give a little bit more of the illusion, you know. Use the imagination. Obviously, if you have any arms or shoulders out, you could use the Body Blur by Vita Liberata, Iconic Liquid Illuminating Drops, which I'll pop on now just so you can see. If you have your chest out, just make sure that it won't transfer onto your dress, because that'll be a big no-no. Look how stunning that looks. And then if you wanted to use the Iconic London Prep Set Glow Spray, woo, that stuff is amazing. So here we have our summer bridal makeup. Nice, fresh, gorgeous, glowing skin. The tones of the eyes just complement the lips and the cheeks amazingly well. Everything just works together. It really does give you that gorgeous summer bronze but fresh looking skin. It looks healthy. If you do actually want me to do a drugstore bridal makeup look as well, then thumbs up the video and let me know about that. Some products can be really expensive, especially if you're trying to do your makeup yourself. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are having a great week, and I'll see you very soon in the next video. Bye.